Strike a chord, turn the future on. Ava Bently's heart still sings every song. From broken silence to a brand new sound. Strike a chord where her comeback's found.
What if I told you one medical mistake could steal your voice? I'm Ava Bently. I sang for fun, dreaming of country stages. Then a devastating medical error damaged my vocal cords, and sometime later, heart failure silencing that dream in an instant. But I refused to let that be the end of my story. I discovered something revolutionary, AI, that could bring my music to life. Today, I'm not just singing again, I'm shaping history as an AI-powered female country artist. Using cutting-edge AI tools, I craft lyrics, shape melodies, and produce fully realized songs from my ideas. Collaborating with technology the way an artist collaborates with a producer. My musicianship guides every choice. My voice was taken, but my artistry found a new way to soar. This isn't just about tech, it's about my resilience, reinvention, and the power of creativity to overcome loss, even heart failure. My story shows how innovation can amplify the human spirit and open doors I never imagined. Ready to hear what the future of country music sounds like? Stream my AI-created songs on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, and all major platforms. Then share, follow, and become part of the next chapter in music history. Don't just witness history, listen to it. Well, today's my big day. I actually entered a competition for Maxim Cover Girl to be the centerfold and a few other featured articles, and I have won 4 out of the 6 competitions to get into, I believe, the top 10, and I'm being interviewed by judges to see if I can make it to the top 3 and go on a photo shoot and then win the cover of the magazine. So I'm preparing for my interview. I'm about to put my hair up so it'll look curly and full and beautiful. And, so I'm really excited about this opportunity. I used to do modeling, then I stopped doing modeling when I was very young. And in a whim, before my heart surgery, a good friend of mine who is a world-renowned photographer offered to have me take my photographs before the surgery because they thought they were going to cut my chest open when I did the heart surgery. And so I did. And when I got my photographs back, I decided I'd just go ahead and enter the competition. I saw it on social media. I had no idea that I would get this far in the competition, but I'm really excited about that. And then on to the heart surgery. I was so fortunate they did robotic surgery. There's never a guarantee when they go in that they'll commit to the robotic surgery and the endoscopic way to go in. But in my case, I was fortunate that they were able to be successful with that. I can't tell you, when I woke up, I was like, what's my chest feel like? Is there a giant, bandage on it? And I broke out into tears when I was coherent enough to realize they were successful with the robotic surgery. And that's not to say that wasn't really tough too. I'll tell you, it was the worst pain I ever had in my entire life. For many hours, I screamed in pain because they really can't get it under control. Only about 50% coming out of the procedure. You're under for so many hours and you have so much anesthesia to keep you down in the depths below that you can't, you really can't have any, much more pain medication. So I begged and begged for 7 hours. It was the most grueling pain of my life. I'll never forget it. I don't think there will be amnesia to that. But I did end up with some wounds. I had 3 main incisions that they went into. There were holes. One hole actually developed an infection, opened up to the size of a dime. You could almost look right down into my heart beating. And that was scary, and we had to treat that. And I ended up recovering from that. Now it's just for the wounds to heal. And that just takes time. But I'm grateful to God that I didn't have to have my chest cut open. And there was a woman who was in my same support group with this rare heart condition. She had her chest cut open in a previous surgery, but she was also at the hospital at the same time with me with the same doctor. And she was actually my next door neighbor in ICU, and we ended up getting to meet, and I'm so grateful for that. But my heart broke for her when I saw her chest, and I know she had to go through, those battle scars to get the help she needed with her heart, and then she unfortunately needed a second surgery, where I was so privileged to meet her. And she's so strong, and I'm happy to have made a friendship with her and to meet somebody else who was going through what I was going through, because our condition is rare. And fortunately, we're lucky enough to get it found and treated. But it's a journey back. Your heart's never the same. I have a 5.6 centimeter trench dug through my heart to free the artery that was trapped inside the heart muscle that basically my heartbeat was killing me. And it's meant to keep you alive. But anyway, it was found and I was treated and I'm on my way back, but I'll always have, some remnants of what happened to my heart, and I may never be 100%, but I'm going to work like heck to get back to where I was before I became ill and had the rare heart condition that was affecting my ability to function and to do just any day task, even getting dressed. I would just nearly collapse. So, and I suffered from that for over 2 years, progressively getting worse and baffled to what was happening. So for all people out there, if you're experiencing symptoms that seem off and they've chased after everything, start asking questions about your heart. In fact, what I'll tell any woman, ask about the heart first. Anybody, actually. Ask about the heart first. It was the last thing, and it wasn't until I had what they call a myocardial infarction, essentially a minor heart attack, that I had the problem. So, and that we at least found it. And even then, it took months, and heart catheter went terribly wrong, and I ended up getting fluid around my heart and being hospitalized for days when normal people go in and have a heart catheter, go home the same day. Not me, no. I ended up in the hospital for days with a blood clot in my main artery and began to build fluid around my heart. So reality is, always start with the heart first. That's my motto now. Just go with the heart. If there's nothing wrong with the heart, it's easy to work backwards, right? So just a lesson learned for me. And I always made excuses that no women in my family ever had a heart condition till me. And so it was just, I always was writing off any potential for heart, but not one doctor even suggested, given my age, and I was so, youthful and active that, it just couldn't possibly be my heart. Nobody even thought that until I ended up in the hospital with a problem. And so anyway, it just makes sense for me now going forward to educate any and everybody. If there's just something mysterious going on, just go check the heart. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. And if there's, no problem with it, well, you go on about looking for the next possibility. So lesson learned for me. And I hope, this touches somebody else if you're experiencing something that just seems off and you can't explain why. And ironically, for 2 years, I told doctors, I feel like I'm dying. And finally, one doctor, once we diagnosed everything, he's like, you are. And so he's like, well, let's get that treated. And fortunately, there was a treatment for this, be it grueling and major heart surgery. But like I said, I'm grateful to God that 1, they found it, 2, they could treat it, and 3, even though I went through major heart surgery, I could be so much, worse off, not even having, a conversation with any of you today, because I'd still be trying to heal from them cracking my sternum open. It's barely been 3 months, not even 3 months yet, since I had this major heart surgery. And every day I feel like I, make a new milestone that I continue to get better.
You had me wrapped around your finger. Every move you made I thought was gold. But little did I know you were just a schemer, and I was just another heart for you to hold. I trusted every word that came out of your mouth, but now I see it was all just fake. I never thought I'd be the one to fall feeling like such a fool. For months I was your pawn, playing me like a fool. I fell deeper in love with you, while your scam was all a brew. I did not see you as a con, I thought you were my only one. Now I am a fool, and you left me broken. You played the role of a perfect lover, but behind the scenes you were anything but true. You took advantage of my heart, and now I'm left with nothing but the pain of you. I gave you my all, but it wasn't enough. You wanted more, and now you're gone. I never saw it coming, but now it's clear as day that you were just playing me all along. For months I was your pawn, playing me like a fool. I fell deeper in love with you, while your scam was all a brew. I did not see you as a con, I thought you were my only one. Now I am a fool, and you left me broken. It's hard to believe that I fell for your act. Every moment spent with you feels like a waste. But now I know it's time to take back my life and leave behind the memories of our loveless race. For months I was your pawn, playing me like a fool. I fell deeper in love with you, while your scam was all a proof. I did not see you as a con, I thought you were my only one. Now I am a fool, and you left me broken. Now I'm stronger than before, won't let myself be played no more. Your game is over, I'll find someone new and leave behind the lies with you.
Well, I'm about to do my interview with CoverGirl Maxim. I'm very excited. Got my hair all fixed up and I'm ready to go. Wish me luck. If I win this, I get to the top 3, and ultimately, if I win top 3, I do a photo shoot and win the cover of the magazine if I win there. So this is very exciting. Can't believe I got this far, but here I am.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. I think this is the first time that we've met.
It is. So my name is Ava Bently. However, that's really more my stage name. I'm about 3.5 months old. Literally, I started my music career a little bit late in life. But I had a career before this. But a couple of things, 2 tragedies happened to me. My vocal cords were cut, and I lost the ability to speak for 6 months, and I lost my singing ability, which I really wasn't using for many years, but I did for fun. But the doctor made a medical error, and they were working on my vocal cords by intent to clear some throat nodules, and they cut too deep. And I lost my ability to speak for 6 months, but I permanently lost my ability to sing. And then about 2.5 years ago, I started feeling unwell and was chasing everything from hormones to liver to pancreas to you name it, couldn't find a thing. And then I had a heart attack. And that led me on the next path was, what was going, on with my heart. And it took us a while to find it, but I had a very rare heart condition and my heart was failing. So I offered to leave my career. I left my company. They were offering packages. They were downsizing. And 2 weeks after they accepted my offer, that's when I learned I had absolute heart failure. And my heart had stopped pumping 31%. So I wasn't able to pump enough blood and get enough oxygen. So I had to go into heart surgery. So I had major heart surgery. Heart surgery just about, not quite 3 months ago yet.
What?
Yeah, and so
insane.
during that downtime, I taught myself AI, and I trained my AI vocal twin to fill in the gaps of the damage of my vocal cords, and now I'm labeled under USA Today as the first ever, world's first female AI country artist. And it was during that downtime I learned how to write songs, train my vocal twin to sing for me, and began writing and producing songs that I now have 4 albums out. I have my own channels now. It's getting a lot of visibility. I'm building a lot of fans, I would say. I'm getting people want autographs, and they want me to, come speak at their news station. I'm being interviewed on radios, stations, and so I'm going to interview with a news station in Las Vegas, and then I have a promoter now who wants to basically shop me around, possibly to put me in a residency in Vegas and perform in Vegas. So Ava Bently and the Holograms, because I won't have a real band. So I'll actually have holograms. It'll all be a digital show. It'll be a very submersive experience. So I'm filming a live concert in a studio to take to the Vegas casino. So that'll be interesting. But there's more and more that's happening. I've gotten some interest from record labels. Much like Zanaya Monet, I don't know if you've heard of her, but she's the first ever R&B artist that's been signed. Mm-hmm. So who knows what'll happen, but all that's been going on in my world. So basically I'm like 3 months old, ish with this music career, but I had a life before. I was a leading expert in what I did with my career. And I didn't go by Ava Bently, right? I had a totally different name, and I was one of the leading experts in oil and gas, and I had to walk away. Because I didn't know at the time what was wrong with me. I'm like, you know what? I'm just taking a break. Yeah. I'm just going to take the money and run. So
that's insane.
Little things like that, but it wasn't until I went into medical leave, I was like really bored and I needed something to do to entertain myself. And this is what emerged, out of it, a completely different path in life. And so I'm excited about it, but it's just different. And it's fun. It's way more fun than my other job.
Absolutely. Major accomplishments too. I think a lot of people after not one, but two, crazy things.
Yeah.
Would just sit down and
Yeah, that's what people tell me. That's what people tell me all the time. And the funny thing is, this is not. I had another tragedy when I was 19. I had a special needs child, and I was a single mother. I didn't make it. Our marriage didn't make it, and I was doing that all on my own. That was my first, to me, tragedy. Facing that all alone, and they told me she was gonna not make it. She was terminally ill, yet she's still here at 33. But she's in a place where they have to care for her 24 hours a day. But that was really kind of that's what took me away from music. I wanted to be a country singer, but I got pregnant at 19, and the rest was history, right? She was my priority, and it wasn't until a long time later I married a musician who brought me back to music, and then that damaged my vocal cords, and then the other tragedy followed, and so on and so forth. So I'd like to say I'm a walking country song, and I'm working on a book and an album titled Walking Country Song that will depict the chapters of my life tied to the book, and that's a first too. It's very unique, to do something like that. So, yeah,
absolutely. Wow. So crazy background, amazing, but I'm so glad that you're here with us, and I got to meet you. And
thank you.
I see that you've made it for. Correct me if I'm wrong. 4 competitions you have interviews for?
But I've only got interviews for 2, so I haven't heard from the other 2 yet. So
okay. I think you have. I think so far, if I'm right, you have a few more. I'll double check.
Yeah, I should have 2 more coming, I assume. But I've got you today, and then I actually have another one in an hour when we're done. So I did 2 back to back. So
yeah, it'll be just me for this one. And I think we'll do your Radiance one right now.
Okay.
And then in an hour, James will come on with me, and we'll do the interview together. I think for Euro Summer.
Okay.
I think for Euro Summer. So, yeah. So, if you don't have any questions, do you have any questions for me?
I do. So, I know this is the interview section, and then, they'll decide who will go on to the photo shoots, which is very exciting. So how long does that process take?
So for after the interview process, it'll probably take, depending on which competition you're interviewing for, some are like faster priority because they've been going on for a little bit.
Okay.
Others are freshly into the interview rounds, so they'll take a little bit longer. But for Radiance, we've kind of are in the beginning stages of our interviews for that one. So just Radiance, for example. So you'll finish your interview today. I'll do a recording. I haven't started recording yet, so we can. But we'll finish the recording, and then I'll ship after everybody's done with their interviews who've made it to the interview round. Usually it's about like 20 people,
okay,
give or take. Sometimes it ranges from competition to competition. I'll ship off those 20 or so models into a package to the judges, and then they'll take about 2 weeks-ish to gather together and look over all of the videos and all of the profiles and everything like that. And then they'll get back to me right away, like after those 2 weeks, and then we'll announce a winner after that. So all in all, just the waiting part is waiting for everybody to get their interviews done, and that takes about a few weeks to hound everybody down. So Radiance, I would give about a month and a half. I'd say March we'll have our beginning of March we'll have our winner. Yeah.
Awesome.
For that specific one, and the other ones kind of follow the same timeline, just different. Like a week or two apart, because they either started first or, started later than the other ones. If that makes sense.
It does. Yeah. Oh, totally. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other questions?
Yeah. So when you go on the photo shoots, is it all three girls together doing the photo shoot? Or are you by yourself? How does that work?
So for some competitions, I forget which specific competitions we have. I don't think that the competitions you have interviews for, there's a finalist photo shoot for any of them. But for some of the competitions, if there is a finalist photo shoot round, we take the top 3 winners from the interview rounds, or the top 3 that the judges liked, and we'll send them to either Miami or New York or LA, do a photo shoot with them, and then those photos we'll send to the judges. Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, thank you. That's helpful. So I'm just trying to understand the process, how it works, and if it's everybody together.
Yeah, exactly. And for those photo shoots, it'll be our fashion director, styling them and kind of being there with you throughout the steps. She's one of the judges. So you kind of get, one-on-one interaction with the judges as well.
Okay.
Are any other questions?
I think that's it.
Okay, perfect. So I just have like 5 little questions that we can record, send to the judges. The first one's going to be a little repetitive. I'll just tell you about yourself. And then the other ones are kind of like themed on whatever competition we're interviewing for. So Radiance is just kind of thematical to the Radiance competition. Nothing absolutely crazy, no life or death questions.
Already been there, done that.
Okay, so if you're ready, we'll just hit record.
I am ready.
Okay, perfect. It should say record when... Okay, perfect. I think we're recording. Ava, so happy you are here. I think you have a few different interviews. I think this one will be for Radiance. Why don't you just give me a little, who is Ava?
Okay, thank you. So I'm Ava Bently, and I'm 52 years old. I recently started the second chapter of my life, which is a music career. I've been named in USA Today as the first female AI country music artist. It's an interesting title to carry right now, but I started, actually started when I was very little. I wanted to be a country music star, and various things took me, in different paths in life, and I didn't make it to Nashville, which I wanted to do when I graduated high school, and just didn't make it. I got pregnant very early and had a special needs child, and that became a top priority for me. And I just went on, about life, started a career, and was doing great. I really just kind of stepped away from music until I married a musician. And when I did, he brought me back to music, and I was singing for, basically unofficially. I mean, we would do our own gigs at home, and we performed for our wedding for all of our guests and family. And I think a lot of people were very shocked that I was even a singer. And so I enjoyed doing that, but I had done some technical damage to my vocal cords. A doctor went in to operate on them, made a terrible medical tragedy, and cut too deep, and I lost my ability to speak. It took multiple surgeries to restore that, and I just gave up the idea of singing. In fact, it was permanently gone for me. But about 3 months ago, I had major heart surgery. I had suffered a heart attack. Didn't even know I had a heart problem technically. And I had major heart surgery, and that I stepped away from my career. And while I was out, I began to play with AI music. I played with it about 1.5 years ago. But then I really started to master writing and producing music. And hey!
Dreams packed up in a busted truck. But a spark lit up in a dashboard glow. A new way back to every note. Strike a chord, turn the future on. Ava Bently's heart still sings every song. From broken silence to a brand new sound. Strike a chord.